Prepare for horror.
Enjoying terrible films, Elijah.
Prepare for thrills. Sometimes you're hotter if you're a mutant. It's Almost Villainous Podcast.
What's up, guys? I'm Eli Wilbur.
I'm Matt Cruz, I think.
You think?
Yeah, it's been a long time. Sorry.
Oh, man. And this is the podcast. This week, I have yet another special guest in the co-host seat.
Oh my gosh, it's so warm.
You like it?
I feel like there was a younger, smaller, more petite gentleman here not long ago who I'm buddies with.
Oh, you're right. Jason was here.
I smell him.
You smell him?
I smell pizza. I smell a lot of pizza and a lot of pornography.
Does that guy watch a lot of pornography? I knew it.
He never lets you look at his. Here's the thing about Jason. Try to grab Jason's laptop and just be like, "Hey man, can I look up something real quick?" And he will snatch it from out of your hand so quickly.
All right.
I love you, Jason.
We love you, Jason. So this week, Matt and I, we're going to talk. Something big happened this week. Mm-hmm. Something really important to our childhoods happened. As
Rosebud.
Rosebud. Yeah, this is our Rosebud. For those who don't understand the way the Marvel Universe and the movie licenses work, let me just kind of break it down. And you correct me if you're actually a lot more savvy when it comes to the business than I am.
This is about to get super nerdy.
This is going to get so nerdy. So I'm going to warn you guys right now, if you do not like nerdy things, which if you watch this show or listen to this podcast at all, you like nerdy things.
Yeah. Like you and I spent a lot of time in in a place where there are a lot of tourists and there's a lot, or we have spent time where there's a lot of people like in those ponchos that you get like when you go places that you're gonna get wet. Put one of those on, a Spider-Man one, like draw a web on it and get ready for some things you're not gonna understand.
Just phone's on silent. Can't have that interrupting us. Spider-Man.
Yes.
And the Marvel Universe. Here's the weird thing about Marvel. You tell me maybe if you know the exact date, but at a certain point, Marvel sold off all the movie rights.
You want to
Are
we delving in? Is this it?
This is the rabbit hole? I'm just giving them a little history first.
Okay.
A little history.
You want me to give the brief oversight of what happened in the 90s? Marvel was going out of, they were hemorrhaging money. They were losing a lot of money.
Yeah.
So what happened was to keep the company afloat, they had to sell off the licensing rights.
Okay.
Like you would, if someone's going to make a lunch pail, you have the rights to make this lunch pail as long as you're in production on a lunch pail every 7 years.
Yeah.
So that's what they had to do with X-Men, Spider-Man, Blade, Daredevil, all those things got sold off.
Yeah.
The rights to them.
Right. So, Fox got X-Men, anything associated with X-Men, essentially. So it's like Deadpool, Wolverine, all of those characters went to Fox. However, we'll go off later. I'm
like Winnie the Pooh. I'm like, my hips are still sticking out of the hole. I'm like, I can't get fully in.
Right. There's so many little intricacies about it all. And then Fantastic Four went also to Fox. So anything associated with Fantastic Four, so Silver Surfer, all those characters.
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man went to Sony.
Yeah.
And then did anyone else go to Sony? I think it was just Spider-Man.
Yes. I think it was just Spider-Man for a long time. Right. And then for a while, we saw Universal Hulk for a little bit. We saw with the cinematic classic that was Eric Bana's Hulk. with the Hulk dogs.
Well, but then Incredible Hulk Universal still was kind of involved.
I think at that point, what happened was Marvel had already started the studio, they were already pushing out themselves. So Iron Man and Hulk were their first solo.
I think Universal still distributed though.
Maybe I think it's because it's before the Disney buy.
Yeah,
it's before
exactly.
The mouse.
It was before Disney.
That damn mouse. Speaking of the mouse.
Wait, what about the mouse? Well,
okay.
we still have, I think, a few more movies to cover.
Okay.
Fox got a lot of them because in Daredevil. Hey, it's okay, buddy. Daredevil.
We're getting Spider-Man. It's okay, Crypto. He's coming.
Daredevil, Elektra.
Yeah. Who didn't love that? Who didn't love Elektra? Who didn't see that 7 times in the theater?
I saw it at least twice.
Ooh.
I liked it.
Okay.
But see, I also liked Daredevil. I really liked it.
Sir, you're just a kind gentleman. You're just a kind. You and your lovely girlfriend are too kind to be having me over and making me food and enjoying terrible films, Elijah. Like Elektra.
I will admit, Elektra's bad. I like it because it's bad.
Okay.
Daredevil, the director's cut is good.
All right.
The director's cut is good. Like,
I'm not gonna shit on your parade,
There are
man.
shitty parts about it. I will say that there are some really shitty parts in it.
Yeah.
But overall, Ben Affleck didn't ruin that movie. The director ruined
of course.
that movie.
Yeah,
the director and the writer,
of course,
ruined that movie.
Yeah, of course.
And then Kevin Smith's cameo. No, I'm joking.
Oh, hold on, please don't say that.
No, I liked his cameo in it. But so basically, the whole point is that a lot of production companies, a lot of studios have had, the Marvel universe in their hands.
Yeah.
Now, well, when did Iron Man come out?
08.
All right. So 2008. That was about the time when Marvel.
Not a virgin anymore either. Sorry.
You gotta just put that out there so people understand. Like the way that we talk.
Yeah.
You might wonder. 2008 was when everything changed.
Yeah.
Because this was when Marvel Studios started producing their own movies, and they started. They changed.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. Completely.
Because then this is when we started finally hearing about a coherent, real plan of a shared universe.
Which blew our minds, man.
Everyone was
blew
like,
our minds.
I mean, I was still skeptical.
Yeah.
Because at this point, we still hadn't seen an X-Men Spider-Man crossover.
Yeah.
We still hadn't... DC was so far from...
Yeah.
I mean, even in 2008, they were still very far from
and we
this.
still are, but we're getting more
You're
credit.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, like, at least the DC universe still at least has one movie that is going to be part of a shared universe and isn't still talking about it.
Yeah, but you're right. When you do think about it, though, it was like Superman. How far was it between Superman 4 and Batman Begins? Or no, Superman. Batman Begins. How far is that between like two good or two like decent? See, I guess Superman 4.
Well, Superman 4.
Yeah,
Talking about the Quest. No.
Yeah, that's
Quest for Peace.
That's the one after Richard Pryor.
Yeah. Are you calling that a decent movie?
Maybe not. I mean,
okay.
I'm over recant.
I liked the concept of Quest for Peace.
Okay.
It was just when Nuclear Man started talking.
All right. So 06 and 08 for Marvel.
Marvel really like when Iron Man came out, and then like right after was Incredible Hulk, and then we saw Tony Stark make an appearance at the end of the Incredible Hulk, and that was huge. It was
oh my god,
massive.
Yeah.
So this was when people started wondering, like, wait a minute, why can't we see X-Men or Spider-Man in these Avengers movies? And the whole reason why it was.
And then it got boring. And then it got really boring because people like me were like, this is why they won't have X-Men in like a Spider-Man movie.
Then it became a fucking history lesson on comic books. Yeah. So, you have to explain to people, okay, Marvel was able to get back the rights to all the Avengers, because who gives a shit about the Avengers?
Like, no one did.
No one, like, at this point, just in comic books, it's all about X-Men, it was all about Spider-Man, and then DC had
Batman,
it's
all Batman.
It's always Batman, but luckily things have been shifting a lot since, TV shows and all kinds of movies.
Your favorite?
I love TV. And so Spider-Man really, the thing with Spider-Man, I liked
all the Spider-Man.
All the Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Even the third?
Even the third.
Oof. All right,
it had its issues. It had its fucking issues. But if you were to take all the storylines and fucking separate them, they all worked. Yeah. The only one that I think was hard to swallow, honestly, was the Green Goblin. Not even Green Goblin. What was it? Night Surfer or Dark Surfer?
But you know what? Actually, you know what? No one who ever has met Sam Raimi will watch this. But if you ever see Sam Raimi somewhere, I give props to Sam Raimi, because Sam Raimi was on a podcast recently and totally admitted that he botched Spider-Man 3 and was like, hey,
really?
he's like, I made this mistakes and this mistakes and this mistakes and it just wasn't good and I have a lot of regrets. And I was like, I completely agree. I get it.
I mean, honestly, I blame Sony for the whole Venom thing. Yeah, because he didn't want to do Venom. Like, as far as I knew, he was not going to ever do Venom. Yeah. I think he even said, he's like, I'm never going to touch that one. But they wanted the toys, and they knew that the fans wanted Venom, so they were like, you need to do Venom, you son of a bitch. Yeah. And, maybe throw Ash in there. Yeah. And it just didn't work. Yeah. And the thing was that I think he had... What's that?
Topher Grace is the problem. Spider-Man 3 can be summed up with 2 words. Topher Grace.
He was such a weird choice.
Yes!
He was such a weird choice. I didn't get it. I liked seeing Venom on screen.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I liked the fight between Spider-Man and James Franco and Sandman and Venom. I thought that was a cool team up.
All right.
It's just, I could see why people hate it because they're watching. They're like, this is just a toy commercial. And
exactly.
I get that.
Yeah.
It's just, it goes back to the whole problem with the Batman movies.
Yeah.
Like Batman and Robin had its cool parts, but then
sir,
it did.
Wow,
Like,
I don't think I've ever heard those words string together in my life.
You watched that as a kid, just like I did, and you were watching it being like, this is awesome.
I don't know, man. I think it got to the part. I think I was until it got to the part where I was sitting there with my father, and Arnold Schwarzenegger turns and goes, "Nice to meet you." And my dad is like, "Can we leave?" And I'm like, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, we're sitting around. We're staying. It's Batman.
It's Batman. We got
better gay Batman than no Batman.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Better Batman with nipples than no Batman.
Yeah.
That's my rule in life.
Yeah.
So back to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I at least 1 and 2 were really great.
Yeah, I agree.
I think 1 and 2 were really great. 3 slipped, and then they tried to reboot.
Yeah.
And fuck, like. You saw the second one.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see the second one. I saw the first one.
Okay.
And then you told me about the second one because you didn't want me to not see it.
Yeah.
But I could tell just by your
demeanor about it. Yeah.
of telling me that it was horrible.
Hey, you know what? I will give you this. The dude I love him. Did you see 500 Days of Summer?
Yeah.
With Mark Webb.
Yeah, that movie's great.
Yeah.
But not a comic book movie.
I agree, but here's what I dig about the Amazing Spider-Man reboot. Here is that Mark Webb, they picked a dude who could do one thing specifically, and really good at that, making this a love story. And if you cut out Spider-Man you put the first Spider-Man and second Spider-Man, you cut all of Spider-Man out of it, and you make it about that love story. Mark Webb made a totally fine love story.
Okay,
he makes a totally fine love story.
Yeah.
Every time there's a Spider-Man, or almost every time there's Spider-Man, it falls completely flat on his face. Or anytime there's a villain, it falls flat on his face.
Yeah. I remember the first one, watching it, being like, it's a bad rehash of an origin story that we already know about. And here's my problem with reboots. You do all the reboots you want. I will fucking watch them.
Yeah.
I am a whore when it comes to that shit. I don't give a shit. You if you want to build your franchises and keep rebooting them, I'll pay as long as they're good.
Yeah.
Here's my problem though. Don't keep telling the same origin story. If you want to do another Spider-Man reboot, which is what Marvel's doing, that Marvel has finally reacquired the rights.
Yes.
In a way, to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Now a lot of people are saying, yes, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. Let's hold our horses, guys. We don't know for sure.
I was right there. I was pre-cum was coming. I was on the verge, holding back. Okay, we're squeezing the tip here.
Yeah, here's the thing.
What's your hesitancy, sir?
My hesitancy is that this is not it. First of all, Marvel doesn't fully have the rights.
Well, here's why I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm here to massage your fears, Elijah.
Okay, massage
I'm here to
my
calm
fears.
you down, baby.
Yeah.
I'm here to make everything cool.
Rub
and
my
cool and
shoulders,
calm.
and then when I'm finally just ready to slow down my breathing, start giving me a hand.
What are you scared of, Elijah? What's terrifying you about the Spider-Man?
What's terrifying me right now, but what I'm skeptical about is that so this whole Sony thing, first of all, has been a huge cluster.
Oh yeah.
So Sony has had the rights for Spider-Man for forever.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 did horribly. So they were scrambling. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna keep the rights? How are we gonna keep making movies? Because people won't keep watching shitty movies.
Yeah.
So they were gonna do Sinister Six, which a lot of people were excited about. Sinister Six.
I was one.
But then they saw Amazing Spider-Man. They're like, oh. Please don't do Sinister Six. You're gonna ruin it.
Yeah.
And then they were talking about doing Venom and Carnage, and then people were like, "No, we saw what you guys did with Amazing Spider-Man. Stop! Please just stop making movies." So then they were like, "Okay, well, no one wants to see those movies, so hey, let's make an Aunt May movie."
Yeah.
For a week.
Why?
That was the news. What the fuck is wrong with you, Sony? You were considering doing an Aunt May movie?
Yeah.
And then then talks started happening when Marvel announced Phase 3.
Yeah.
Are we on
back
3 now?
it's gonna be 3. Yeah, back in November we were talking about when they announced that slate.
Yeah. So then it's people were like, wait a minute, how are they gonna do a Civil War movie?
Yeah.
Because Captain America 3 is gonna be Civil War, which everyone's stoked about.
Yes.
But I agree. How can you do Civil War without Spider-Man? And then Spider-Man was such a huge part of that storyline.
Yeah. And then they had an answer, though. The answer at the press conference was... Well, they didn't specifically answer, but they were like, who's going to be the guy who's torn between Iron Man and Captain America? And they were like, guess who is the new Black Panther? Chadwick Boseman. So they brought out Chadwick Boseman, and what they said back in November was like, hey, he's going to be the guy who's torn between these two. They even did like a little skit where like,
oh, Tony I didn't hear this.
It's you. Okay. Oh man, I watch this thing all the time.
When you need your fix,
I do. I watched it like every night for like 2 weeks because I was so excited.
That's awesome.
There's like this little piece where like Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans are like taunting each other, kind of back and forth, like playfully being like, "Hey man, this is shit's happening." Like,
right?
Can we curse here?
Yeah,
cunt. So they're like going back and forth, and they're like, "Hey man, shit's happening." Like, and then they brought him out, and they're like, "Whose side are you on?" He's like, "Hey, I'm doing my own thing, but I'm excited to be part of this." He's pretty uncharismatic, Chadwick Boseman. He is, to be honest. But he was like, "I'm happy to be a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe," and
everyone was excited.
Yeah, everyone was like, "Oh my god!" So he was supposed to be filling that Spider-Man role,
right? And this was and around this time we started hearing whispers of, oh, Marvel and Sony, they're meeting up and they're talking about Spider-Man, and we don't know, it's unconfirmed, but maybe possibly there might be some kind of
there's some talking
crossover going on.
As the kids would say, they're not going together, but like they're hanging.
They're hanging.
They're hanging out.
They're hanging. They're exchanging those, they're playing footsies under the desk. Yeah. Maybe
like me and Jason.
Yeah, I knew it. Maybe sometimes every once in a while Sony takes Marvel out to the back and gives it a hand job,
there you go.
And now, we're finally hearing that it's for sure Sony and Marvel are teaming up, and Marvel's going to help Sony make a good Spider-Man movie.
Yes, precisely.
Because Sony just doesn't know what to do. Sony, they had a good thing with Sam Raimi, and my friend Aldo and he watches the show, and he's always like talking to me about stuff. What's up, Aldo? He said that he wants Toby back, and I agree. I would. Now here's my thing.
Aldo, you know what?
Here's
my opinion has changed on you so quickly,
because,
Aldo.
At first you're like, Aldo's a cool guy. Fuck Aldo.
He's worse than Hitler. Sorry, Aldo.
Oh, Aldo. No. So here's the thing though.
Yeah.
In the comic book, Civil War, Spider-Man's much older. He's a professor, and that's that gives to the story. That gives to why he admires both these characters, because he's worked alongside them for so many years. He finally gets to become an Avenger. And so this around Civil War was when he was finally inaugurated to be an Avenger.
And then the world's falling apart as you're becoming part of it.
Exactly. And it's a great part of his story. And now I hear that they're looking to cast a much younger Spider-Man, younger than Andrew Garfield. And I'm like, why? We've already done the origin. We've done it twice now, guys.
It's okay, baby. It's okay.
We've done it twice. Let's do older Spider-Man. Let's bring back Toby, because I think fans would be okay with it. I think fans would be like, all right, maybe, if it's an older Toby, he's playing an older Spider-Man. Yeah.
How many movies in the past 2 years have you seen Tobey Maguire in that he's been the lead?
None. I look.
Tobey Maguire's past, dude. I'm sorry. We gotta give up. You gotta give up on Tobey Maguire. He's done, man. Unless he has an Affleck resurgence in his 40s, then we're all like, oh my god, Tobey Maguire is Hollywood.
I just think he could do it. You know what I mean? I think it would. How cool would it be at the end of Avengers: Age of Ultron?
Yeah.
It's the end credit scene. Whatever. Everything's done. Everything. Whatever.
Yeah.
And we cut to New York University, and we hear chatter of Dr. Parker, and we the camera
and he
pans
pulls
over
up on Seabiscuit.
Yes, he's Strides at no speed, like shooting webs at people. Like
we're like, this is the most crossovers we've ever seen in one scene.
It'd be awesome. It'd be epic. No, I don't want any of that shit. But no, it would be cool if the camera were to pan over and all of a sudden you see Tobey Maguire he's Peter Parker.
Yeah.
That not only would that movie sell 20 times better,
dude.
Like if people were to hear that, people like there were. Look, I am not the only one who would want to see Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man.
I don't think you're the only one, but at the same time, I think this is what our community has a big problem with is, in all aspects, and we drag it into pop culture. Is like is a problem with like letting go or like change. So like I'm very much the same way in my personal life. I told you I'm having trouble with television. Like I have to let it. Like there are times where I'm barely learning, where I'm like, I don't have to watch this. I'm like, I feel obligated to watch this. And you know what? I'm like, it fought with me. I fought through like 18 episodes of Arrow that I hated. And I was like, I kept going back. I was like, I got to do it. And then finally I was like, you know what? I don't have to do this, man. I was like, things can change. And the world will go on. So Tobey Maguire was awesome. But that was 2001, 2002. Like, you know what, man? I'm ready for a new Spider-Man. This last Spider, I didn't think Andrew Garfield was terrible. I liked Andrew Garfield.
He was fine.
He's gonna be in Scorsese's next movie, so obviously he's got some chops.
He's a good actor. I'll give him that. I just fuck these last two movies. They're horrible. But no, I mean he was good. And look, if Marvel would have been like, look, we're gonna give that guy another chance. We're gonna give him a chance to be in a good Spider-Man movie. I wouldn't be opposed.
Yeah,
I'd be like, whatever, that's fine.
Yeah, I agree. Not excited. But fine.
I'm glad that they're starting over and that they're introducing new Spider-Man. It's a little annoying because it's like I don't want to see another I swear to God, Marvel, if you give us another origin story. I saw this meme.
People are gonna riot.
People are gonna be pissed. Yeah, because I'm not the only one. Like there's I think everyone's pretty much done with the origin story at this point. I saw this meme and it was like all like the two cuts of Uncle Ben dying, and it was like, Marvel, let's let Uncle Ben rest in peace. You put him through enough. Like let's let him just already be dead. Let's skip. Spider-Man already has his powers. So, look, you want to tell a high school story? Fine.
Yeah, I'm agree.
I that's the appeal of Spider-Man is that he is a kid. Anyone can be Spider-Man.
Yeah,
that was part of the reason why
Stan Lee, made the mask.
Why they did it that way. Like that's
our geek Hantana being like, like that's the basic code that we have.
Right.
We know why Stan Lee created Spider-Man because of this and this and this.
Yeah, because he's anyone could be him. Even DC at one point followed that trend when they did Batman Beyond. They were like, we need a Batman that kids can relate to.
Yeah.
Let's make Batman a kid.
Kill his parents.
It fucking works.
Yeah.
Like Batman Beyond fucking works.
Yeah.
Like when I was I in high school or middle school when that came out? And I was just like, I can be Batman. Like I don't have to be rich to be Batman. I just gotta find a rich dude who used to be Batman. I could be Batman.
I just gotta find some creepy old man who likes hanging around young children, and I think I can pull this off.
All right. Well, put it that way. Then anyone can be Batman in that case. So
you don't want an origin story, is what you're saying.
I don't want an origin
story. I agree. I don't either. I would be furious.
I would be okay with seeing another high school story because that is the appeal. Like I was just saying, that's the appeal of Spider-Man. Is that it's a kid.
Yeah.
He's in high school. He's got high school problems as well as superhero problems. Yeah. It'd be fun to see that work out. Because when Tobey Maguire did it, I think the first movie
he's in high school.
He's barely in high school,
Flash.
but then it flash forwards and they're graduating.
Yeah.
They don't spend this much time in high school.
He gets in the all important cafeteria fight that we all had. We all had the food fight in the cafeteria.
Yeah, and look, if they have to recreate that, fine. Like if we have to recreate the Flash Thompson shit, fine. Yeah. Just not another origin story. That's all I'm asking for. Is if we're gonna do a younger Spider-Man, not another origin story. Yeah. Who would you like to see as Spider-Man?
Okay, you're right. Like, and this is the thing. Right now, Marvel has a huge juncture, and like they have announced that they want to go a younger Spider-Man. Yeah. But nothing's set in stone. So until something's set in stone. This Spider-Man thing, I've been making fun of people for a year and a half about. Every time they come to me, be like, do you know Spider-Man's gonna be in Avengers? And I'm like, you're retarded. You don't know how business works. They can't legally have it until. Sony, a year and a half ago we were having this conversation, but Sony's in, they need money bad. They need money bad. So yeah. right now you go one or two ways, I think, with Spider-Man. You either go the young route, like they're saying, like you go back in high school, or you go honestly, this is the geek favorite. This is the internet. This is the internet coming out of my mouth right now.
Okay, all right.
You cast Donald Glover. You go 30.
The Morales, whatever.
And you cast the 31-year-old Donald Glover because. Did you hear about the Donald for Spider-Man campaign a couple years ago?
I heard about this. Yeah, go explain because I don't know all the details. So
it was when they were rebooting, which is funny too because he will have outlived 2 Spider-Man recastings.
Oh
yeah.
Shit!
When they were recasting Andrew Garfield, there was a buzz online to get him because of his community following for Spider-Man, and he kind of tweeted it out once, all right, I'm with this.
Yeah.
It got so much following that Sony called his agents and were like, hey, can you ask him to not say anything about this? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he was very much like, oh, okay, I guess they don't, they go in a certain direction.
Right.
But at that point, he'd only been on Community.
Yeah.
He hadn't done any film work, really. I mean, after Mr. Team, this year he's having a big year in film, man. And not only is that, he's huge. I mean, he's huge in the hip hop world now. Like, people know who Childish Gambino is.
Okay.
He would put this year alone. He just did The Lazarus Effect, which is that horror movie coming out with Mark Duplass.
Yes,
Wow.
that looks cool.
He did. He's gonna be in Ridley Scott's next movie, for The Martian with Matt Damon. He's gonna be in.
That's awesome.
And he's also gonna be in. He's got one more. Man, this cat's working a lot. Anyways, Magic Mike XXL. Yeah, but now he's a name. Now he is a name. Now he's a recognizable actor.
People know. I mean, look, I without even being able to recall anything he's in, I know the name. Mm-hmm. I know who he is. So, and I know that there's been a huge campaign for him to be Spider-Man. Yeah. Here's my thing. I'm all for changing shit up and
Oh no!
And
is this gonna be the state of address all over again? This is gonna get this.
My thing is in the comic books, in the Civil War comic books, it's Peter Parker, not this Miles. Not the new.
Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
Did you like Captain America 2? Did you like Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
How different is it?
Than
the story.
I mean, it's different.
But that's the best part is because Marvel is able to take here's what they do. They take they're like, what is the key moral dilemma or arc of this story?
They're good about doing that. But that's just too big of a jump for me.
See, this is what I started with. This is what I started with, though. This is exactly why I hit that point. Because as a culture, as a community, we are fucking petrified. We are terrified. We're like, do not touch Peter Parker. Do not fucking change that. Yeah. But could good come out of it?
Good could come out of it. Good could come out of it. I don't know. I'm all for change. Because, you know me. You know how I'm let's try something new. But it's fucking Peter Parker. You can't fuck with that in my mind. It'll probably be great. Look, they could call him Miles Morales. What is it? Miles Morales. Give him the same exact storyline. Yeah. They could give him a goddamn Mary Jane.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Would you be
against that? And I'd still be annoyed with it.
Really?
It would be the one thing that made me go from loving it to just being it was really good, but I don't know.
Well, see, too, before these past 2 movies, I would say the same thing. I would say, you need Peter Parker. Don't give me Spider-Man without Peter Parker. But after seeing 2 shitty Peter Parker movies, I'm fine. I'm fine with walking away from Peter Parker for 15 years. Right. I don't need another shitty Peter Parker story.
Yeah.
If it's not going to hold up.
If it's not going to be good, you don't want it. And I do appreciate that. It's just... we'll see, man.
You and I go out, right? You and I go out to have drinks, right? The first time we're you and I are sitting there. I'm like, you look really nice tonight, Elijah. You're looking good. And we start off, we're having a good time. We're chatting a little bit, but it's a little bland. The car, at the end, there's a little bit of action. But, it's still kind of that felt kind of weird. We go back out the second time, and it is fucking all over the place. It is a mess. You're like, this dude is high, or he doesn't remember where he is. He doesn't know where he lives. Would you call me back for a third drink? Or would you go, you know what, man? I'm going to go back to that same bar. But you know what? I don't know what this dude's like. I haven't really had that much of an experience with this other chick who looks good. You're like, people like him. People think that he's a cool guy.
I would give it a third chance.
Why? Elijah?
Because.
Why do we like to
Because one, like you said, first time was decent. The second time was a mess. maybe the third time would be amazing. This
is the problem with us. This is why that we keep getting this shit rehashed like this, man.
Because we're just begging for more.
Yeah, give me more shit. Feed me more.
It's the truth. Like, look, like I was just saying, I'm a big comic book movie person. I don't give a shit if it's something I've never read. Like,
Guardians.
Look, Guardians of the Galaxy. Could care less about reading the comic book, but fucking love the movie.
Yeah.
I thought the movie was awesome. I will watch the second. I will watch the third.
Yeah.
I mean, if they were to take Chris Pratt and Zoe, what's her name?
Zoe Saldana
out of those movies, and it's just the raccoon and the goddamn tree.
Yeah.
That the fuck.
You're treading on some bad territory here, man. You're like, every person who comes from Brown, you're like, what's their name? I don't even know their name. Huh? Miles who? Yeah, I don't care. Whatever. Give me Peter Parker. But you're right. So just back to the main issue here is like I was saying, you go the 1-2 ways. Obviously, it's not gonna happen. You're not gonna cast Miles Morales. You're probably gonna go Peter Parker. You're right. Go with the young Peter Parker. I think you're fine. I think you go with the young Peter Parker in high school.
I think it would be safe for Marvel to give Peter Parker one last chance.
Yeah.
It's young Peter Parker.
I don't think it's smart.
You think they should go Miles Morales? I think they will. To be honest,
really?
I think they are gonna go Miles Morales.
Wow. That's calling it right there, man. You just David
because the fans want it.
Yeah.
And Marvel has been really good about giving the fans what the fuck they want.
Yeah.
Marvel listens to their fans.
Yeah.
The same can't be said about DC. I love DC. Look, at the end of the day, if you were to say, Eli, who do you prefer, Marvel or DC? I will cut you off and I will say fucking DC. I will say Batman, actually. I won't say DC. I'll say Batman.
Where's Batman this week? All right, there.
Like, Batman, I do a fucking show about Batman. Yeah. Batman is my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
If they had just and you think they did, if they had just completely ruined The Dark Knight Rises. Yeah. And in my mind, they didn't, but if it had been really, really garbage, I'd still be like, I want the fourth one. I don't care. Like, you give me everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember where I was taking that thought, but
if you go with young Spider-Man, is there a young cat that you like who's like, because they're talking really young, because like that's one thing I do like about DC is they're casting like we haven't seen it yet, so it's until like there's this chick I like Mary Jedikin. She says she's a film journalist, and she says until the catering truck shows up, it ain't a movie, man. So until those movies start real, until the catering truck shows up, it ain't real. So they did cast the young Flash, they cast the young Cyborg. They're like 20, 22.
Right.
Marvel is not doing that. Black Panther's not out yet. Black Panther. Chadwick Boseman, his movie just got pushed back to 2018. He's 38. Chris Pratt's like in his 30s, and Chris Pratt's young enough. He plays young enough, but they're all like in their 30s. Tony Stark's gonna be 50 by the time Infinity Gauntlet comes out. The Hulk is gonna be 50. Like they're all by the time. No, maybe not. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit. That's me saying he's worse than Hitler. But they're all very old. I think Spider-Man, as much as I think the going older to fit in, because that's the thing I'm worried about too, is like if you get a young cat, how's he gonna play next to Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, next to Scarlett Johansson?
It'll be interesting. Yeah. It'll give a dynamic. It'll give you a really awesome dynamic to work with. Like, it almost makes me wonder if they'll try to get Joss Whedon back in, because that guy does good with the teenage superheroes.
I agree.
And I would watch Joss Whedon Spider-Man.
Yeah, are we gonna jump into directors?
Yeah. Like, all right. So, let's finish off what the plan seems to be right now. Because the plan seems to be that I think the premiere of this new Spider-Man will be Civil War. That seems to be the talk.
That's what they're saying.
So, and then after that, he'll have a standalone.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know young actors well enough to know to even speculate who could play Spider-Man.
I'll give you the two who are the front runners right now. The two or three actually. There are three cats who are being talked about really heavily right now. Okay. One of them's Taron Egerton. He's the king. He's the dude in Kingsman, which I haven't seen yet.
Oh, okay.
But I will check out though. I'm gonna check it out because I'm fuck 50 Shades. So I'll be checking out Kingsman. The second dude is Logan Lerman, and he's in Fury. Did you see Fury?
I did not see Fury.
He's really strong in it, actually.
Okay.
He has to play off Brad Pitt, and there are a couple scenes where they're like, he's like the kid they're being tossed into war, and he's who you identify with. So like, these men who are like desensitized or like killing Nazis, and like he has to shoot at someone, and they're screaming at him like, "Do your fucking job, man!" And he's like crying, and you're like, "Oh, I was like, that'd be me in that tank."
Okay, all right.
And then the third cat is not Ty Sheridan, but it's I want to say it's the kid from We're the Millers. So those three kids are kind of being like, they're being eyed right now as like the main front runners for their role.
Okay, and then as a Peter Parker
version.
As a
Peter Parker.
Now, I know that there's been talk of the Miles Morales. Do you know?
I haven't heard any names, to be honest, because honestly, like this is bad. And Kate, who's actually, speaking of which, there's a podcast out there right now. We're about to get super meta. Who's recording at this moment?
Oh shit!
Talking about Spider-Man.
Oh
with
man.
with my living minimally castmate and my old real quick crewmate Kate. So shouts out to Kate, but you know.
Yeah, and guys,
Tank.
We didn't mention this at the start of the show, which we should have. This guy does his own YouTube show, and do you do?
Oh my god, I do.
Well? Well,
no, I don't get it. No, I did. Yeah. Jason and I we did a movie news show. That's why I have my head so far up my own ass. I'm like, this is the kid from Fury, and he was really good.
But that's called Real Quick. So that's on YouTube. Google search.
We'll plug it at the end.
It'll be in the comments below and all that. So or description down below. So
young Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Honestly. There's not. I mean, there's dudes like there's talks of like the kid from Everybody Hates Chris. Yes. Who's now on Walking Dead.
Yeah. I heard about him.
Cool.
I don't know.
Fine.
I like him.
But at the same time, is that gonna excite anyone? No. Is that gonna really interest anyone? Not really. Like he's had his own show and they got canceled. Like he's on Walking Dead. Like honestly, does anyone on Walking Dead really excite you? Like John Bernthal has been able to like branch out and be exciting in movies, but like does anyone excite you?
Andrew Lincoln, man. I love Andrew Lincoln. Like Rick Grimes, that guy. He's fantastic.
He's a beautiful man. Yeah,
that beard.
He's a well coiffed man.
Oh, just like grab it. And then that's it. I just want to grab it. Just maybe like stare intently into his eyes and see if he kills me. That might be cool. Like to be killed by Andrew Lincoln.
Ooh, there you go. It's bucket list.
That's a bucket list. Like, I don't want to have a major erection when it happens.
So yeah, young Miles Morales. Honestly, at this point, I don't know anyone. It could be anyone because the problem with Hollywood, like I was speaking of Kate, she's very much like has been recently been like the problem with Hollywood is like fucking it's too many like old white dudes teaching young white dudes and da 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 da. And you know what? This is a point where it kind of comes up because you and I can't name a budding like young African American actor. Why is that? Because there's no spot for him. Michael Jordan is huge right now. Right. Guess what? He's 29. He's gonna be 29.
Wow.
There's just not the spot, man. There's just not. They just haven't created the space.
You're right. I mean, it's a very hard market. I mean, that's why so many people are pissed off about Jimmy Olsen in the Supergirl TV show. He's gonna be black.
Good.
A lot of people are pissed about it, and I'm like that's one of the things where I'm like, I don't care. Like,
thank God, I'm so glad you said that.
Right? Like, he's one of those characters where I'm like, whatever.
I was gonna have to do. Someone's gonna do a super cut of like over your negative comments. I was like, nah, no more. Like, don't give him more food. Feed me.
Look, when you start messing with characters like Batman and Superman and start saying, oh, we're gonna cast ethnic person, you can't. That's hard. You can't really do that because that's such a iconic character. That would really upset the fans.
Like if if you cast it tomorrow, they were like, just announced John Krasinski is Black Panther, and you're like, whoa, I love Jim. I love
Jim so much.
I love Jim and Pam, but I don't know about this.
Maybe Pam would have been it.
Pam as the Black Panther.
I'm in. But the thing is I don't even know where I'm going with this because there's just so many ways to look at it, but it's hard. You just. Unfortunately, like, okay, the Star Wars thing. I want to talk about the Star Wars thing real quick.
Yeah, because we're just in we're a web.
We're a web because there are so many places you could take this conversation.
I promise we're gonna work our way around.
It's gonna come back to Spider-Man, I swear. But a lot of people were really stupidly annoyed.
I heard you and Jason had the Stormtrooper conversation.
Oh, the Stormtrooper conversation.
I'm not gonna touch it.
No. To me, I just think it's stupid. It's just like, look. like we don't know the context of this character or anything like that.
Yeah.
Why are we
complain about it?
Why are we getting upset about it? And my whole thing is we don't even. I mean, look, there can be a black stormtrooper.
Yeah.
I don't see why there can't be a black stormtrooper.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Yeah. It's just when you start to get into these very, like I said, iconic roles, you got to be careful, and you don't want to upset the fans.
Speaking of which, I'm so sorry. I promise we're gonna get back. Yeah. In the '90s, sorry, I'm so sorry. I promise we're gonna get back. In the '90s, that Superman flick that almost came into production, Will Smith was. He was gonna be cast.
I heard. Throwing
that.
And you know what? It's happened. If that had happened, I think it would be a lot better now. It'd be fine now. It just look. We there's so many missed opportunities that could have happened, and they're probably not gonna happen, or they won't happen for much longer till now.
Which is what I said about Spider-Man. I was like, it's gonna take forever.
I mean, now here we are.
Yeah, I
know. Did you hear what Hugh Jackman said?
No, I didn't because
he really wants Wolverine to be in the movie.
I know, he's always doing that. I love, dude. But you know what? I can't say anything negative about Hugh Jackman. It is, dude, think about this. X-Men started shooting in '99.
I know.
Hugh Jackman has been Wolverine for almost 16 years. I don't care until the day I die. I will never say a negative word about Hugh Jackman because he has carried that flag, dude.
He deserves to be Wolverine till he dies, as far as I'm concerned. Like, a lot of people are like, I guess the rumor is he's done after 2 more movies. He's done. I want them to do 1 more movie after that, and it's Old Man Logan.
Elijah. It's okay.
No.
Change. I thought change.
No.
It's okay. It's going to be okay.
Wouldn't it be cool to see an Old Man Logan movie?
Would it? Yes.
I think it would be awesome.
Would it? But at the same time, do I think that we should let Hugh Jackman go fucking spend the rest of his life on some beach or reading Shakespeare?
He's not going to do that. He's going to go sing and dance in some other movie.
Which is what he should do.
He's going to do Les Mis too.
I want to. Look, if they announce tomorrow, they're like, Hugh Jackman out as Wolverine. Cast as the lead in Little Shop of Horrors. I'm like, I'm fucking in. Good for you. Good for you. You served us for 16 fucking years. Through good movies, through terrible, shitty movies, and guess what? You were excited every bit of the way.
He's a sport, man.
Yeah.
What I love about Hugh Jackman is that he admitted that the
Origins.
Wolverine movie that just happened...
Oh, The Wolverine.
Was the first time that he got his body where he wanted it for Wolverine.
He's scary. He's
amazing. Like, he looks like a goddamn comic book character. And which I'm stoked for Ben Affleck because, that guy looks built as shit. And... I'm sorry, I'm so tired of seeing dudes who are, they're supposed to be these hot, good-looking, muscular dudes, but they don't look like comic book dudes.
Yeah, now they do.
We expect women to fit that mold. Yeah. We should expect the same of men.
I agree.
And finally...
Guess who did? Just who did it? Pratt. Pratt did it exact same thing.
Did he?
Oh, did you not watch Parks and Rec?
No.
Well, Chris Pratt was for years known as that was one of his shticks. It was he's I'm the chubby funny guy. And he would poke it out all the time. He was not fat, but he was for Hollywood standards, he was a really pudgy guy.
Okay.
Not fat, but a really pudgy guy.
Yeah, well, he was funny. So
there's nothing funny about a physically fit man. But look at you. He dropped all that weight, and guess, dude, he did, I think, one of the biggest body transformations we've ever seen in a comic film. So you're right. I think it's fair. I think we're going in that direction. I like it.
Yeah. Ben Affleck is gonna be huge. He looks fucking fantastic. Every picture I've seen of him so far, I'm excited.
Holy shit! I just cast Spider-Man in my head.
Who?
Jason Argueta is Spider-Man. You need the small build. You need somebody who's charismatic and funny, who's got a sharp, quick... There you go. With hashtag Jason for Spider-Man.
He's finally on Twitter now.
No way!
Yeah, I convinced him to do a Twitter. I was like, get a Twitter for the...
What's his Twitter?
It's Jason Jason _
Jason.
Voight.
Oh, no, what?
He did it for Voight.
That's so weird. All right.
I was like,
Jason. Okay,
cool, man.
Yeah. So go follow at Jason _ Voight. I was gonna say Jason Sex Jason, but apparently not.
That would be tremendous.
So what do you want to see with Spider-Man? What do you hope they do?
For the standalone?
Yeah. Or just in general.
I mean, all right. So the way it's gonna be weird. Here's the problem. It's gonna be weird. However they introduce him in Civil War.
Yeah.
Because again, the reason why it works in the comic books is because we know who Spider-Man is. We know the whole storyline. It's going to be weird for them to just throw him into Civil War.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm very skeptical, especially if Sony's going to have a hand in it. If Sony gets to have a creative say in Civil War, it could be the worst fucking movie ever.
This is where I was gonna. This is where I'm here to massage your gets. This is the main thing that you need to be confident about going forward. What the agreement is going forward. Sony's gonna let him appear in MCU movies. They don't that's it. That's all their involvement is. Like they have no creative control over the MCU movies. Anything that's Marvel, just Marvel, they don't touch.
Okay.
Anything the Spider-Man standalone films, or at least the first one, Kevin Feige and Marvel are co-producing.
Okay.
They're not putting up any of the money. Like Sony's putting up the money. Marvel's gonna do co-creative control.
Right.
Sony's gonna have half creative control over their movie, so the Spider-Man movie could still be half terrible. Okay. Kevin Feige's half could be awesome. Sony's half could be terrible. But then my understanding is the standalone flicks, anything subsidiary that Sony wants to do Spider-Man wise, whether it's some weird female movie they want to do, which I don't understand.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Or the Sinister Six of Venom, Marvel's not involved.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah?
I think Marvel should be involved in all of it. Because you want it to be good.
I think Superman should be under Marvel, and I know that it doesn't necessarily make sense, but...
when the news broke about Spider-Man, I tweeted, I was like, DC should have snagged fucking Spider-Man when they could have. I want to see Spider-Man versus Batman.
One of my favorite tweets is from this dude who I really love named Brian Lynch, and he used to work for some cats that I know. He actually wrote the Minions movie.
Oh, okay.
That's coming out.
Nice.
I love this cat to death, man. He's a great dude, and his tweet was just like, he's like Marvel. It's like colon their quote was like, let's go for Batman. And I was like, genius.
Yeah, dude. I mean, look, one day we're gonna see DC versus Marvel on screen.
Yeah, when no one wants to see comic book movies anymore.
We'll be dead.
Yeah, we'll be dead.
I'll be happy though. Like Eli in heaven will be smiling down at that movie and giving it good graces, because fuck, that'd be cool. But here's what I want to see happen. I want Civil War to not. I don't want Civil War to feel like they just wedged Spider-Man in just for the fans.
Yeah.
I want it to work coherently.
Yeah.
The thing is it's going to be called Captain America Civil War.
Yeah.
So it can't focus on Spider-Man.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know how that's going to work with Captain America being in it, Falcon being
Everyone's
in it. Iron Man's
everyone's in it.
Like, you're putting...
Let me phrase this. Everyone who is still around after Ultron.
Age of Ultron. It's going to be really... It's going to be interesting to see...
Who's there.
How... And again, this is why I think if they possibly can, and if someone from Marvel ends up watching or listening to this podcast, please take this advice. Wedge him into the end of Age of Ultron. That's the only way it will work, in my honest opinion. To coherently get him into Civil War, you gotta throw in an end scene. So cast that motherfucker ASAP.
You know what? My actual, I mean, no, you know what? Everyone's saying Ultron, and I actually haven't heard this on the web yet, and I was shocked. I was doing my research before I came.
Yeah.
On my sites, closing my porn tabs. No one has mentioned Ant-Man. Because Ultron makes sense because it's the tentpole movie. But right after that, we get Ant-Man 2 months later, and
you know what? I didn't think.
And they're gonna be delving into the technologies about the Ant-Man suit. They're gonna be delving into actual ants.
Yeah,
Paul Rudd's gonna be riding a fucking ant.
I'm so stoked.
So
for
why
that.
not? So why not? Here's what I would do. Why at the end of that? And no one's gonna ever give me any opportunity to do anything like this. But if I were, if I'm Kevin Feige, I go, you know what? Fucking do an after credit scene. Do where just the concept is like, oh, technologies like Hank Pym's are being explored out there, and then we see a cut of like, we don't do a full movie about Spider-Man becoming Spider-Man, but we see a cut of a kid, whoever it is, becoming Spider-Man, and then we see him either get bit or we see something happen, and then music, Spider-Man, and then we never explain it again. We never explain it again.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, the reason why a Doctor Strange movie can happen and work within the universe now is because in Captain America, Winter Soldier, they mentioned Stephen Strange.
Yeah.
You know, now we know that he's in that universe, and so it'll work. Like you could even just throw him into Age of Ultron, and I'd be like, yeah, you mentioned him, so it works.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, so
he's there. I know he exists.
So that's all you need to do with either. You're right. I totally forgot about Ant-Man.
Everyone does. Everyone did
because it's not getting the same hype.
Look, I know we're all sad. Look, I know Edgar Wright's working on something else. I know he's not here to stroke us anymore and talk in his decent tones to us. But it's gonna be okay. Ant-Man is gonna be good. Ant-Man. I will admit this. Ant-Man may not be great. But Ant-Man's going to be good. I think it's going to blow a lot of people away.
I think it is going to be. I just forgot. I totally
Everyone
forgot that was
did.
coming out.
Everyone did.
When I saw the trailer, I was like, this looks great. It looks really good. Who the fuck's going to be the bad guy? I don't know. Like
Yellow Jacket.
Oh, is that what they're saying?
Yeah. I'm down with it.
That'd be fine.
I'm down with it.
I don't know the Ant-Man world that well.
Okay.
So it's I think it's going to be cool. I love Paul Rudd. I love all those actors. I'm stoked for it. So it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
You could definitely work Peter Parker.
I think that's the place to do it. So honestly, I do.
Throw him in at the end credit. Just Marvel, like, be smart about this.
Yeah.
Like, you got to work your asses fast.
Kevin Feige, you remember that scene in Dark Knight where the Joker fucking puts towel up on the money?
Yeah.
Is it Burnham? Kevin Feige literally has like something that big at home, and he's like, I think someone telling me to be smart. He's like, I fucking got here.
It's true. He doesn't need me to
Kevin Feige don't need us.
He doesn't need us. But, it would just, I think a lot of people would really like that. I think so too. I think it would work. Yeah. It would work much better to wedge Spider-Man into Civil War if you were to already give him that reference. And then we know he exists in this universe.
And then you get more time to cast it too, because Ultron's May 1st. May 1st already for Ultron. Yeah. And look, I know like you can cast him within that time and you get it shot, but at the same time,
no, let's not rush it.
Yeah, I agree. No. I think you give it 5 more months. Mm-hmm. You just give it a little bit more time to fill things out a little bit. How can you figure it out? And let me ask you this. They pushed back the release schedules for them, right? So, like, Spider-Man got jammed into Thor's spot of 202017. Everything else gets
Spider-Man got jammed into Thor. not which you'd think it'd be the reverse.
I'd watch it. I'd watch it. Everything got pushed back. Because you know they have their storyline planned out. He's talked about it. He's Kevin Feige's like, I have it planned out through 2020. Yeah. I know he does like this bare bones. Does that change? Does that change because
no? Because I think that they in the back of their minds, these guys are comic book guys.
Yeah.
They think they think outside of their parameters and they have to bring it in. Yeah. So I think in the back of their minds, all these guys who work on these movies are like, if we could do this person, this is what I would do. Yeah. But then they go, okay, well, I can't do this person, so let's
Black Panther.
Exactly.
Who got his movie pushed back to 2018?
He got pushed back to
poor guy.
But you know what? Honestly,
I think Spider-Man's better. Spider-Man's better.
Well, no, I mean, look, I'm excited. I'm actually more excited for Black Panther than I am for Spider-Man.
Wow. Okay.
But at the end of the day,
thank God. Hold on. Just put that out as the trailer. Put that. I'm more excited for Black Panther than I am.
I really am more excited for Black Panther. The problem is not everybody knows who the fuck Black Panther is. Like when I was a kid, I created my own super comic book character, and it was Dark Panther because I didn't know who the fuck Black Panther was. So like then when I realized that I was completely ripping off.
You're like 12 years old and you're like, I'm a genius.
Right, yeah. And all of a sudden, like years later, I find out I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Oh man, I totally ripped off. I mean it. I think they do know what they're gonna do and where they're gonna go with Spider-Man. Director wise, I think Joss Whedon would be a fucking great director for it, but I think he's done. I think he's
that's
out.
what I was gonna say.
He's done. So
I actually know this cat who like went to speak to him like 2-3 weeks after he got back. And it wasn't just him, it was like a bunch of journalists. They went to go speak to him, and they're like, he looks like he's gonna fucking die. And I was like, oh my God. They're like,
Joss Whedon?
Yeah, they're like, I have never seen someone so tired and so haggard. And I was like, oh my God.
I think he's probably regretting getting into the comic book movie business because like Avengers was great. great.
Perfect.
It was the perfect comic book movie. I will say now though, the perfect comic book movie, Days of Future Past.
Wow. All right.
To me, it is the perfect comic book movie because I grew up on X-Men animated series, and I still stand. I'm still a firm believer that Batman vs Superman is going to change that for me.
Wow.
But right now, Days of Future Past.
Man, I want to live in your world. I want to world where I'm like, oh, everything's gonna be awesome. Everything's
Shut up!
gonna be good.
You know what, man? Days of Future Past. Look,
Okay.
when Charles meets Charles,
You're right. No, you're right.
and they're face to face, and he's just like, Charles.
Yeah, I cried. I cried.
We all cried.
I was baked, but I cried. I was nice and baked, but I cried.
And then when every mutant in the world died
Yeah.
from the Sentinels,
Yeah.
oh man, that was so cool. Like, it was sad, but I was still like, this is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
we're seeing Sentinels on screen annihilate
Yeah.
people. What I like, here's what I would have preferred,
Okay.
crossover wise. Instead of seeing Avengers and Spider-Man, I would have preferred a Spider-Man X-Men crossover.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping for from the very beginning. When those were like the first two big comic book movies to make a comeback to comic
From
book
this
movies.
age of comic.
Yeah. That's what I was hoping
What
for.
I hear is that Fox is not very friendly with other studios. Like, I hear that's why like this Sony deal was more plausible, is because like they've had a friendly relationship. But from what I hear is like Fox does not work well with people.
Marvel and Fox are having a feud.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard, but
the comic book canceling.
the Fantastic Four thing.
Yeah.
Marvel canceled Fantastic Four, and now there's two schools of thought. When it comes to this whole thing. One is that Fantastic Four just doesn't fucking sell.
It doesn't. It does not. They're losing money.
It makes sense.
Yes.
The other school of thought is that Marvel wants to hurt Fox's Fantastic Four movie, which everyone's like, oh, this could actually be good. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It looks stupid. I am not excited for this movie.
Oh no!
Do not try to make Fantastic Four gritty. It's like when people got pissed about the Zack Snyder Superman movie.
Oh no!
Like, I love Man of Steel. I don't see how anyone could hate that movie. But people were like, "Oh, they took the fun out of Superman." You want to talk about taking the fun out of a comic book movie? Fantastic Four, they just sucked the fun right out of it.
They did, because it was terrible. But holy shit, I literally had to go like, I was like, and I was like, wait. I was like, what did he just say? I was like, did he just say Fantastic Four is gonna be bad?
You don't think so? You think it's gonna be good?
Dude, look, don't get me wrong. Fantastic Four, the past two movies were the complete pieces of shit.
I liked them.
But what?
I didn't love them. Like the first one was pretty terrible, especially what they did to Doctor Doom. They ruined Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
They made up for it with the second one. I thought the second one was fun.
Wow.
Because Fantastic Four is fun. That's my whole thing. It's like when people were like, look, I'm not saying Superman Returns is a great movie, but I think it's more fun than Man of Steel.
Oh my god.
I disagree. I completely disagree. I think Man of Steel is a fun movie, and I love the shit out of it.
I hate both of those movies so much.
Look, which one would you rather have? Another Superman Returns
I'd rather watch
another
Man of Steel, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, for me, I just think Fantastic Four is cheesy. Fantastic Four is bright and colorful, and I think there's a way to do it right.
Yeah.
Closer to the way the first two were. Not this one. I don't know. I'm sure. Of course, I'm gonna see it.
Yeah.
I'll probably see it with you. It's probably gonna be good.
Yeah.
I don't see how people could see that trailer and be like, well, I think it's gonna be.
Well, it's not the trailer. Here's why I'm genuinely very excited. Mm-hmm. The directors I love, Josh Trank. He did Chronicle. And he's doing a Star Wars movie. He did so good on this while he was shooting Fantastic Four. Lucas said, guess who's gonna direct one of the standalone Star Wars movies? Josh Trank.
All right.
So he's doing that good. You just said what's your quintessential comic book movie? Future Past?
Future Past.
Simon Kinberg, who wrote Future Past, wrote Fantastic Four. Michael B. Jordan, who I loved in Fruitvale Station, and I've loved since he was 11 on The Wire, is going to be awesome. Kate Mara, who I love on...
How can they be brother and sister,
exactly.
though?
No, that's my one qualm. I'll give you that. My one qualm is
weird.
My one qualm is don't change that. They fucked up.
And I don't like that Mr. Fantastic is a young kid. I first of all, I hate the look of him.
Have you seen Whiplash?
I haven't seen Whiplash.
Oh no, then my director cuts out the window too.
Well, what do you mean?
For Spider-Man. But I love this Miles Teller kid. I love him a lot.
Really? I want to punch him in the face.
I did too until I watched Whiplash, and he's gonna be huge. He's gonna be huge.
Look,
everyone involved.
I trust your opinion so much that I'm gonna throw everything I said out the window.
It looks terrible, but talent's there. I'm telling you, it's there.
We'll see. I mean, I also hope that they once again completely changed Doctor Doom for this movie, and I'm like, stop fucking with Doctor Doom. Like maybe the reason that these movies are gonna all suck is because you're not giving Doctor Doom his proper origin story. Let's see a movie where Doctor Doom gets his fucking proper origin. Maybe it'll be good for once.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Look, I understand it's a little far-fetched, you know, this whole Doctor Doom guy. Like, it's a weird thing.
I'm gonna let it ride. I'm gonna let the Doom thing ride.
We'll see. Like, look, I could be... I will most likely be wrong. I will most likely be eating my words. Like, the worst thing that could happen is that Fantastic Four is gonna be amazing, and Batman vs Superman is gonna be terrible.
Yeah,
and like then I'll put a gun on my mouth. The world will be over. So we probably won't see those guys. We won't see Fantastic Four, and we won't see X-Men in Marvel because Marvel Fox, right now wants to hurt Fox. From the sounds of it, they I guess there's kind of a feud about the whole Deadpool and X-Men thing. Now, X-Men, I just want to touch that for a second. What do you think is going to happen after Apocalypse? Because from the sound of it, they're doing a TV show, right?
Yeah, I think it'll be like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't think it's necessary. It's not going to be like, it's going to be peripheral. It's going to be like, I think it's going to be...
Well, it's going to start a new universe, right?
Like but like a TV universe. Like, it's not going to be important. Like, let me put you like this. That's how frankly as I can put it. Like, you and I love the trilogy. You love Star Wars.
Yeah.
Did you read every Star Wars novel? No. Because you don't fucking need to.
Right.
And that's what's my problem. That's my problem is like, I don't need to fucking watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't need to know what some model is pretending to do as an agent, like a S.H.I.E.L.D. member.
All right, but hold on.
No, we're not going to go.
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., man, like, what's cool about that show is that they're introducing the Inhumans.
That's cool, whatever. But you don't need them. What I'm saying is, though,
you don't need
it. Same thing as
but there's going to be an Inhumans movie.
Yeah.
So, like, I just, that excites me.
It's nice.
Like, knowing that they're using the show to bring up, to evolve the cinematic universe, it's like, you're right. Like, it's not needed.
But for people who love it.
But for people who love, like, if they were to... If they were to introduce or even mention Peter Parker and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
I'm not gonna lie, I thought about it too, but yeah, I would not be down with that.
I see that would work. I'd be like, okay, fine.
But as far as the X-Men, I think it's gonna be a peripheral thing. I think it's like it's not necessary. It'll be. I'm sure people like it. I'm sure you'll love it.
Oh yeah, I'll watch the shit out of it because you know me, I love TV.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not gonna be necessary.
I think you're right. So okay, Spider-Man. What's your final thoughts? What do you want to see out of the standalone movie?
Standalone movie.
You heard what I had to say.
Look, man, honestly, I don't care. We could put Peter Parker back in high school. I want Peter Parker. I want one villain. I want no love story. I don't fucking need another love story.
I agree.
The last 5 Spider-Man movies have been about the love story. I don't need it. We don't fucking need it anymore. And I want someone who can direct action. That's all I want. And who can, something bigger than a small indie film. Give it to somebody who has potential to grow. Yeah.
Who has the experience and the ability. Yeah.
And don't jam it all in one. Give me one villain. Give me one hero. Give me one villain.
Yeah.
Don't set up the next 6 years. Kevin Feige always said, here's my note. Kevin Feige always says this going into a film. He says, I have my idea of where we want to go in 3 films from now, but when I'm on this film, I'm going to make this film the best film I possibly can. And if that means I have to change something down the line, fine.
So be it.
This needs to be better first.
I agree. I think it's gonna be a fun ride. Like now that everything's changed, Marvel has Spider-Man. A lot of people are so happy. There's this huge thing on the internet.
I never thought it would happen.
I never thought it would happen either.
It's so sad.
Except the minute that I heard that Amy Pascal stepped down from Sony.
You thought about it?
I was like, this is... I was confident. Because I heard it on the news, and I looked at Jess, and I said, Spider-Man is going to go to Marvel. Mm-hmm. I called it right there, and it happened.
She said, get out.
She's like, Spider who?
Yeah.
I called it right away, and I was right. So, maybe I do know what the fuck I'm talking about.
There you
go. It's going to be an interesting ride. Like I said, everything's changed now. Yeah. This is going to make, in a way, I think it's going to revitalize everyone's kind of getting sick of comic book movies. I think now that we're starting to see things come back around to
exciting time.
People are excited again.
Yeah.
People are like, oh shit, I might see Spider-Man with Marvel and with the Avengers and all that. It's going to be interesting. Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see DC do something. Give us something from a movie. Give us a trailer from Batman vs. Superman. Start giving us some more casting. Like, you guys are so behind at this point. Like, good for you for giving us your lineup.
But you know what?
But you are so behind on that lineup. Like, you guys have a lot of catching up to do.
I'll make this point quick, but what I think is smart about that is I know it took forever to get to Batman vs. Superman, but I think they did it smart and very intelligently, because once Batman vs. Superman hits, it's boom, 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 boom for 5 years.
Yeah.
So, and at that point, we're going to be at 13 Marvel films in, 13 to 14 Marvel films in. Maybe time for the tide to turn. Maybe they're like, guess what? Everyone's watched 12 of these. It's our turn, baby.
Yeah,
it's our turn.
DC's turn. Yeah, we'll see. It's an exciting time for geeks.
Yeah.
It's an exciting time for movie comic book fans. If you don't like the comic books, you have a lot of movies to be looking forward to.
Yeah.
So with that said, I can't wait. I think it's all going to be awesome. You know, look, I'm skeptical as always. I think everyone should go in with a little bit of skepticism so that they're not, completely let down when it doesn't work out. But either way, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see what happens.
Yeah. My closing thoughts on Spider-Man, I have to say, my cousin Danny put it perfectly. He said he's the biggest Spider-Man fan I know in the world, and he said, and it's how I feel too. He said exactly. He said, this movie needs to be released because my penis can only get so erect. That's my closing thoughts on Spider-Man.
There it is, guys.
I'm fucking Pope Laureate. I was gonna say Pope Laureate.
There it is, guys. That's our thoughts on Spider-Man. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Eli Wilbur.
Oh, I'm Matt Cruz.
And do you have a Twitter handle?
I do. You can catch me at Crafty Cruz. I occasionally do a web show called Real Quick, youtube.com/realquick with 2 E's. Real Quick Movies.
Well, there'll be
with 2
links
E's
in the description.
Because we're so clever.
Right? You're so clever.
I fucking hate myself.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.